Hello, everybody, and welcome. Sorry, just tightening up my microphone here. Welcome to the Jiminy Flip It live listing show instead of a chat show. Apologies for having to switch out Monday's chat show to Friday, but my partner in crime was a little under the weather, so we switched it to Friday. Hope we'll see you there Friday, normal time. But today, just going to do a little bit of listing for a bit. Happy St. Patrick's Day Eve, everybody. Let me just set up this screen. There we go. We're going to do some more ads today. Hope everybody's had a good day. It's still pretty early. It's only 5 o'clock here on the East. Hopefully everybody can hear me well. And we will get right into this. Winter Crow, hello. I'm glad you made it. Thank you. Whew. I just came running downstairs, saw that it was 5 o'clock. Said, uh-oh, I better get in there. Winter Crow's waiting for me. Yeah, so let's get started. Let's see what we have. I uploaded some more ads for us to take a look at. And I should be able to pull that up in just a minute. Let me check on YouTube to see, make sure that we're coming through. Thanks, CJ. Hey, welcome. Hope you guys are interested in some more ads today. We have a magazine from November of '62 today. It's also Life magazine. Oh, and there goes my light. There we go. Let me just make sure that I can see myself here on YouTube and I can monitor the chat. There we go. Looks like I'm live. I'm actually going to put a fan on today, everybody. This fan is on. It is 71 degrees here in the southern Pennsylvania area. Freakishly warm, but very welcomed. Because a couple of days ago, it was like 25 degrees. So I think the whole country is having this crazy, crazy weather. We should be on. You had a long day, went to Crow. It was a good day. Were you out sourcing or something? What were you doing? Okay. I will hang on. You hang on too. I'm sorry. I'm just setting up my dual monitor system. I think I told you guys last time. I'm trying to, and for some reason, that one's being slow. My main one is doing great. The other one's being a little bit slow. Should just be a moment, and then I'll be up and running, and we'll start listing these ads. It says I'm live, but I don't see anything yet. Here we go. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Now we're ready to roll. Winter Crow, you just chime in whenever you're ready, and let's begin. If you remember from last time, this is how I saved everything from the last set of listings. I just adjusted a couple of things. We're now on 169, L169. We changed the date down here to November 62, because that's the magazine we're working with today. And let me bring in a picture. We will get started. There's some cool ads today, a little different than, was it Friday, I think? And let's see, what should we pick first? Well, this one's kind of cool. It's an insert. Let's bring these in. I'll show everybody. Okay, this is I think it's like a 5 or 6 page insert from, that was inside of the magazine. Obviously, it was stapled in, but you also had to remove the staples in one of my earlier videos. This is for Southern Comfort. It's pretty cool. How to make 46 great drinks at home. Some pretty wild shot glasses. I wish I had these. They look really nice, like a riverboat or something. Very, very cool. But this is, you could see, here's the second page. And it's a fold out. I think it's a 6-inch square booklet that was just free in the magazine for Southern Comfort. You can see all these recipes for some cool classic drinks up here, right? You have a martini, a screwdriver, a gimlet, I'm going to say. I don't think it's a gimlet. Margarita, Bloody Mary, a daiquiri, a Rob Roy, a cold toddy, and a rum swizzle. Then you got a Manhattan, Comfort Manhattan. This is really cool. And then that is the back, which is similar to the front. So I'm not taking a picture of every single page because you want people to buy it and you want people to be interested enough to look and get this little pamphlet. So this is kind of unique. This isn't really an ad. It's a insert. Yes, it does win a crow. Absolutely. Oh, you're working at the flea market. Fantastic. Because the weather was great. Maybe a lot of people came out, right? Yeah, the inserts do sell. And they're available in many different forms and many different magazines. They could be for just about any product. But this is booze. You know, people like their booze, right? So let's start writing this guy up. I'm going to use Southern Comfort, a brand. Let's see when we go to change the category what comes up for us. You can see right here it says food and beverage distillery, Southern Comfort. Excellent. It's always good when there's a category with that specific brand. Makes it very easy. And then I'm going to describe this as multi-page insert. And as Winter Crow pointed out, we will indicate the fact that it has recipes. Drink recipes. Spelling, not a forte, went on camera for some reason. Drink recipes. We still have 9 characters, so if anybody wants to chime in with some ideas, please let me know. I'd appreciate it. Always up for suggestions. It makes the whole process a lot more fun. But right now, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, by the way, I'm Jiminy O Flip It today. I don't know if anybody noticed that. There we are. Hey, everybody. I didn't realize I was blocked out. Jiminy O Flip It for St. Patty's Day. All right. Let's fill out some item specifics. You can see the brand, Southern Comfort. We have an original ad. It's multicolor. This is from 62. In the United States, the theme is distillery. That's what defaults there. It's not modified. Type of advertising, again, I always go in and just write print ad because that's what it is. No, this one is really, maybe we'll put in insert on this one. Let's be creative. It's an insert, advertising insert. Oh, St. Patty's Day event, bagpipe special. Oh, wow, that's cool. Was it packed? It must have been packed, huh? Mixology. Ooh. Yeah, let's see. Which one do you like better? Because we have space for, we have 9 characters. Mixology, I kind of like. Very original sounding. Look at that. That takes us right to a full line of characters, too, on the title. Here's another interesting quandary for me personally is how do I price this? Because it's not one page. It's only 6 inches instead of the usual, what is it usually, 11 by, I should know this, I've only done a million of them, 14 by 11. Busy for midweek. That's fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. We're going to mark this guy up. I'm going to put $24.99 on here. Let's see what happens. We always accept best offers. So if somebody's intrigued enough to pick it up and makes an offer that's reasonable, I will absolutely take it. But I just wanted to show everybody, this one's a little different. It's not your typical ad. And again, the reason I don't have every page scanned was because I want to kind of create a little bit of intrigue and, you know, people want to go in and buy the whole thing. If I put a scan of everything, they could just copy it and then they won't buy anything, right? That wouldn't be cool. That's great. Alrighty. So I think we're good with that one. I like the mixology reference. Thank you for that very much, Winter Crow. All right, let's list this one. And I'm not in a race tonight to list as many as I can, like I kind of indicated on Friday's show. We were going to try to have a, a contest, see how many I could get up. But the conversation was so good with so many different people, so there was really no reason to rush. You can see you get a little warning here from eBay because distillery is a category. If your listing contains alcohol, please be aware alcohol cannot be listed, blah, blah, blah. This is clearly not alcohol. It's just an advertisement for alcohol. So I'm going to hit continue. You'll see those warnings pop up for different products on occasion on eBay when you're listing. There we go. And now I'm going to go in and hit create similar. Very important. So it retains all the information from the previous listing. And this is how we could plow through tons of these at a time once everything is scanned. It's one of the other reasons I really like this niche. We're going to go with niche. I heard a few people last night say niche publicly, so I'm going to go with niche instead of niche. All right, let's set up our second ad. Let's see what we got. Ooh, I saw a mistake there. See how I had print ads automobile left over and I forgot to change that. So I'll go in and fix that really quickly. That's just my store categories. It's not the end of the world, but for consistency, I like to have the ads in the right category, obviously. So I'm going to move that to beverages. I don't think you'll see that, but that's okay because it's a different screen. Take care of that really quick. But in my haste to get them done fast, sometimes that happens. It's really important to kind of do a double check, excuse me. Let me just move this to the right store category. It's going to be beverages. And we'll save it and we will rock on to number 2. There we go. And you may be wondering, the listings that we did on Friday, I think we did 15 or 16. 4 have sold already of those 16, which is kind of cool. Sometimes they sell immediately. Sometimes they could sit there for months and months. It doesn't really matter. If you have the volume up and you're consistent with the listings, they'll all sell eventually. I'm in no rush. As long as at least we sell a few every day. I don't care if it was listed 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. Okay, next item up. I think we're going to go with the cute baby. Another one of those fail safes. Look at this. We have Northern toilet tissue. Adorable photo. Obviously, hand drawn, it looks like, with a little baby girl, infant, holding her teddy bear. I mean, that kind of sells itself, doesn't it? You see a picture like that. Look at those eyes. Again, we're going to fill out basics. The brand is Northern. Toilet paper. Let's hit our category and see what eBay recommends for us. Yeah, household. We have options here. You can go health and beauty, other health and beauty ads if you want. You can go other household ads. I'm going to go other household ads. There really isn't anything specific to toilet paper. Oh, it would help if I could spell again. Let's put a T at the end of that. I wonder if that's going to change anything. Let's just make sure it doesn't. No, staying with that other household ads. For my personal store categories, I'm going to go to personal care products. And again, let me fill in some of these item specifics that they want for us. Got multicolor. We got Northern. Going back to a print ad here instead of the insert. 62. Original. Not modified. US of A. I'm going to fix my pricing back down again so I don't forget and start marking everything up to 25 bucks. As nice as that would be, it could also turn some people off that are used to my regular pricing. They probably wonder, what the heck is he raising it by 10 bucks for? Not to say I won't one day, but right now we're good with our 15. All righty. Now for those all important keywords in our title. Take it away, Winter Crow. What are the automatics? We have an infant, we have a baby girl, adorable baby girl. Softness is the nicest thing that I could ever wish for, which is why I hope you'll try my soft Northern tissue. I'm going to blow this one up in a different page, and I'll read the text that's under the photo because it's kind of hard to read. It just says new poses for prints of Northern's 4 little girls, and their new poses sent a quarter in coin to Northern. Okay, so this is actually looks like a series that they did some prints. It's good to know. I wouldn't have known that if I didn't blow this up. Up Northern's Four Little Girls. So if somebody is familiar with this, they might be searching for this one. So I think we're going to put Four Little Girls. And what was the term they used? Prince? Four Little Girls Prince. No pressure. No pressure at all. Hopefully Tracy will be on a little bit. She's usually very good at the helping with the words too. And I know she comes home from work probably around now. So we'll give her a little bit, see if she can make it tonight. Cuddly soft infant. Cuddly soft. I got cuddly soft in there. Yeah, I put Prince. Maybe I'll put Art Prince. It sounds like that was a series like I read, where it's the Four Little Girls Prince. And they were only for a quarter. A little cute in the nursery, I guess, right? Love to get the teddy bear in there too, but you see, it's always the same dilemma. We only have so many spaces here. Offer for Prince, otherwise people will think they're getting for Prince. Yeah. Offer for Prince series. Yeah. Thank you. Toilet paper printed. Art print offer. Cuddly soft little girl. Nah, that doesn't fit. Definitely the hardest part and probably the most important part of all these listings is coming up with really good titles, because there's so much you can write with most of it. Makes it interesting. There's so many different, if you ask 10 people, you probably have 10 completely different titles. But again, for consistency, I want to keep my own pattern as far as year, brand, vintage print ad, and then everything else is kind of up for grabs. Winnicrow making a great point, though. You don't want to put a number 4 in there and people think I was getting 4 ads. Part of series. Print office series. Part. Yeah, that works well. Part of art print office series. Baby. Baby. I don't want to overthink it either. You know, sometimes you wind up overthinking and second guessing and changing it 1,000 times. I could always alter this slightly. Not that anybody reads, as we know, but if they do, part of the Northern Four Little Girls promotional art print series. How's that? So we can get some of those words in. Just put it in the description rather than chewing up space in the title. What do we think of that? I think that's good. Kind of grab this way. If anybody has any questions, like what's the art print series, they can look down if they choose to read and see this little verbiage. And I have to remember to erase that on the next one, because this field, this section, I should say, I'm pretty much always exactly the same other than the month and the year. So I have to remember to go in and take that out for the next ad, but I think that's pretty cool. I think we're going to let this one go. And look at that. We're right at the 0 characters. So let's put this one up. That's one of them that I reckon will sell pretty quickly. Babies and doggies and cats, automatic. Alrighty. Let me take care of those items that I said I need to erase so we don't screw that up on the next ad. Get rid of all this. Get rid of this without getting rid of the whole thing. There we go. And delete the picture. Okay. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we're in kind of a houseware or house goods, household goods vibe right now. Let's see if we have anything else that's somewhat similar. And don't know that I do, actually. That's kind of weird. We have our usual standbys, which are cigarette ads, car ads, food ads. Those are kind of universal. You'll find them every decade while doing this. We have another pen ad, which is kind of cool. If you remember from Friday, we had the Parker pen that we spent some time discussing. I think we talked about that already, Winter Crow, did we not? I think we discussed your percentage, your cut. We also have one really interesting double ad. If you look at the year, right, November 62, they were celebrating, if you will, the 100th anniversary of the Civil War through 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. And in that centennial celebration, if you will, they were doing some ads, I noticed, in 62 and 63, a lot of them, commemorating a certain battle or something. So I have a kind of cool double ad, it looks like, from American Oil. Let's pull that up. What the heck? I'll show everybody. It's an actual centerfold, so there's no split. It's not two separate pages. It's one continuous page. And when I blow this up, I'll show you. If you look at this little, it almost looks like a discoloration, but that's the actual middle. And again, like we discussed on Friday, because of the size of this thing, when it's out, it's 22 inches. My flatbed is 18, which is big, but it can't do two pages at once, which is why I have it separated here. But in all reality, the actual ad itself is not separated at all. It's one double ad. This is awesome because obviously you got, the oil people, you got car people, and you got the whole Civil War crowd, which is something you want to tap into if you have the ability to. Smoke ads. Oh God, yeah, we have tons of smoke ads with celebrities. Winter Crow. Has anyone sold pictures from I've CJ, I haven't personally, but I've seen and read of tons of people that do that, especially if the books are kind of beat up. The illustrations I know can sell on their own, especially if they have little kids, dogs, anything cutesy like that. So I would highly recommend. And if anybody has done that, if Winter Crow, if you've done that, if you want to chime in with CJ about how to do it. But I think it's basically the same idea. You very carefully cut out the photo or the illustration from the book, scan it. I would recommend scanning them to get the highest quality. Who is the artist? It's a good question. Let's see if we could blow this up. But I just think this is a winner for sure because you got the Civil War element, you got car companies. Let's see. On the bottom right, you see that little shield? Let me go back to my main picture. Down here, I'm going to read this. I blew this up. It says this is the battle of Lookout Mountain. Same thing. You can score full color prints of this great paintings in the series for only $1. The size is 16 by 20. It was just offered by American Oil this year, 62, 63. And I don't see, yeah, there is an artist down here, Winter Crow. Wow, let me see if I can blow that up. And if I can, I'll show everybody. I'll just take a new picture. And sorry, I have to reach around the camera here for that one. But let's see if we can blow this up. It's almost illegible, but I will give it a try. This is where I need... One second. This is where I need Travis with his subscription. Here we go. Let me see if I can. It's really hard to read this because I'm blowing it up so much. Okay. And I'll try to put this picture in if anybody wants to take a stab at who the artist might be. We'll do share again. Let me see if I can. What category for those photos, CJ? Yeah, photos, illustrations. You might even technically still be able to write print ad. It's not an advertisement, but lithograph, maybe something like that. I'm trying to get everybody to be able to see this blow up I did of the signature, but it's really kind of illegible, unfortunately. But what we could do in lieu of looking up the actual signature on that specific item, I was reading, it looks like it's part of another series that they would, oh, put it back up. There we go. It was part of a series that they were doing, they being this American Oil. So maybe if we look up, I'll put 1962 American Oil print campaign, Civil War print campaign, something like that. Let's see if we can find out some information. Again, sometimes, it's worth taking a few minutes to find something like this. Who knows? It might be something that is really highly sought after. 62 American Oil. Yeah, there's several of them listed already. Just trying to see if there's a artist name. It's funny. I see a few listings with the other three, I guess, prints, but nothing with mine yet. If anybody wants to join me in this research, I'd appreciate it. First one gets a lollipop. Kind of looking, I'm not necessarily looking for other ads. I'm trying to get like a history behind it, like what the promotion was for American Oil, and maybe that would lead us to who the artist is. I don't know if the same artist did all four prints or if they were separate artists for each one, but give it heck and we'll try to look. I just see a couple of other listings. I don't see any like detailed information. Campaign artist. I'm gonna search that. Right, exactly. When I see that. Oh well. I guess they're not noteworthy, unfortunately. CJ, just back to your question about the category for those. That's a really good question. If you play around, we could search if you'd like. I'd be happy to search while we're listing, and we could take a look for you to see where people put those in, those illustrations. Or I mean, unless it's an actual photo, like I guess some books obviously have photos, right? If you want to cut out photos from books, you'd put it in photos. But the thing I was thinking of, and what I've seen people do, is taking those really old, like turn of the century books, those little kids books or study books that have little illustrations and stuff. That's what I've seen cut up. I haven't seen people take photos from a proper book, like a photography book or something, like a Marilyn Monroe photograph book, which I have up for sale, and taking out the individual photos. But I'm sure that's, similarly to how I rip up magazines. I'm sure there's people that go out and get these books, rip them up, and sell the individual photos rather than selling the book as a whole. That sounds like a good idea. Reminds you of Woodbridge. Is that a specific style, an artist that has a very, particular style? I'm not familiar with that. But again, I knew we'd get stuck on this one, which is a good thing. I don't mind at all, because if we could find anything kind of cool about it, or let me just fill out some stuff. Let's get this at least in the right category. We're going to go American Oil. Definitely want to highlight Civil War big time. A bunch of Civil War. World War II, which I alluded to in one of my videos in the series for print ads. Probably the most collectible right now that I've seen anyway was World War II ads. But there is actually a section that says, oh yeah, Amico. So that's American Oil. Okay, we'll put it in Amico. This way it's in the right ad. For the sake of argument, I'm putting in an automobile because I don't have a separate oil company ad. I kind of combine. This again is just my store categories. Put them in automobile. And then we're definitely going to do 2-page. I always do. Print ad. We will do Civil War. George Woodbridge. Okay. What if we do like a reverse search and put George Woodbridge, Civil War prints, American Oil Company, or something like that? That might give us something. And again, let me blow this thing up. I know you guys can't see it, but if I see anything that resembles George Woodbridge, it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't mean it's not, but it doesn't look like Woodbridge at all. It looks like a C as the first name. And it definitely isn't a W, and it almost looks like an MC as the last name. But again, it's really difficult to see that. It's down here, if you guys see on the listing. It's this little section right there. Let's fill out some specifics. Original multicolor, US. Theme is gas and oil. Modified, no. Type, print ad. Brand. Oh. 52. Oh, we know it's a... You're doing that now. Thank you. I figured you would. We know it's part of a commemorative series. We know that they could buy... I think it's one of 4 again. Let me just confirm that. I forgot if that was what this one said. I think I just closed out my draft by accident. Thank goodness it's saved. We'll go back in. Sorry about that. Here we go. Well, first of all, price goes up. 2 pages I usually do for just generic, if you will, generic things that aren't special like this with Civil War or something. It's usually $19.99, but this will be $24.99 because it's 2 pages and it's commemorative and it's Civil War. I think it's very reasonable. I think people will pay that based on my experience. Always entertain offers though. A set of 9 photos listed on eBay, but no details. All right, CJ. Thanks for trying though. Did you search George Woodbridge like Winter Crow had suggested, or you just found other ads in that series? This is the Battle of Lookout Mountain. I guess we kind of got it that in. Battle of Lookout. Probably take us. Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's all right. If Winter Crow can confirm it, that is indeed. Hey, Travis. Welcome, buddy. I was telling everybody we moved everything. We moved our chat show from Monday to Friday. Hopefully, we'll still be on target for Friday. Excuse me. Subject to change. It's okay. Just want everybody feeling well. That's the most important thing. Do you have light age toning? Winter Crow is out there searching on the artist for this item. Ooh, Travis. Travis. I heard you have a subscription to a cool website. Hey, Gulf Coast Pickers, what's going on, man? We are listing. We're listing, and we are right now researching this ad, which is a cool 2-page centerfold from American Oil, Amoco, commemorating, 100th anniversary. It looks like probably of a Civil War battle. And we're trying to, Winter Crow is out there searching. She suggested that it looks like an artist named George Woodbridge may have done this, but we can't be sure yet. We're trying to figure it out because just for everybody's who just came in, anytime you have a double page ad, that's a good thing. Anytime it's a centerfold, that's a better thing. And if you could have an angle like a Civil War, World War II, cha-ching. So we want to take our time as far as picking. We won't. We want to take our time and see if we can get some, drill down and get some more detailed information. If George Woodbridge is a marketable guy, Winter Crow said that he was an artist for Mad Magazine, which is kind of cool. And talk about stepping outside of your comfort zone from Mad Magazine to Civil War ad. But yeah, it is a cool ad. All of, I guess that means of, other CW artists I know after the 60s. Okay. You might need to. It's good for ratings too. We haven't seen an upside down Travis yet. Oh, CJ used Google Lens. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm curious. Travis, seriously, if you could look up, we found out that this ad is part of a series. It looks like it was let me read this again. There were 4 different prints in this series that were given out from American Oil Company, Amoco. Well, they weren't given out. You had to pay $1 for it, but it was a nice 16 by 20-inch ad, or not so much an ad, a print lithograph. Yeah, do you see it, Travis? I just blew it up. At least I think I did. Got to wait for YouTube. There's a little lag there. Do you see that, Travis? Let me know if you see it blown up now, Travis. Okay, cool. For those of you who don't know, Travis is always, he's been my guest for 4 or 5 shows now. He has a subscription to WorthPoint. And one of the features that we do on our show is we let our guests come in, and if they have anything that they would like to see or look up for free on WorthPoint, which is kind of nice, Travis goes ahead and we do some research on it. We all learn something from it, which is really the best part of it. Can I show you the signature? When it's really small. I don't know how else I can show you. I blew it up in that second photo, which I think is what's on the screen now. That's pretty much as big as you can get. The signature is down in this portion, though. I'm going to circle it. I don't know what kind of screens you guys are on, but maybe if you do like a little clip and just take a screenshot and blow it up, it's very hard to see when it's blown up. But you know what I can do? Why did it just take me all this time to realize it? Give me 1 second. I'll go grab the ad from my file cabinet. I don't care. I have my own pricing, Gulf Coast. No, but that's good to know. Yeah, we found a couple of other prints, but we're trying to figure out who the artist is. So let me go grab the actual print ad, and we'll zoom it up, and you guys can take a look. All right, I'll be back in just 1 second. Sing amongst yourselves. Sorry about that, everybody, but here we go. Let's we'll go into full screen, and I will show you. There we go. Here's the actual ad. Handle with care. Excuse me as I put on the old man glasses because I can't see anymore. Even with the glasses, it's so blurry. M something. If you guys, I will show this as closely to the camera as I possibly can. And if anybody can make this out, let me know, please. All right. I definitely don't want to rip this guy. Boy, I'm doing an awful job at this because it's bending. And I have a fan on, which isn't helping things. Hold on. Very delicately going to fold it the other way because the signature is only on one page. All right. Give the phone a tap and see if it focuses any better. See how blurry that is? There you go. That's about as good as we're going to get, folks. What do you make of that? Can anybody make that out? Look at Travis. Beautiful. Here's your no, I'm not going to do it. Inside joke. Travis, see? This is why everybody needs to tune in on Monday nights, this week on Friday night, but every Monday night, we put Travis to work. He's brilliant with WorkPoint. Yep, 62, commissioned for American Oil. Absolutely. Did he? What a crow. I think you're right. Ladies and gentlemen, even though it's a listing show, I would say that this ad qualifies as a Bolo. Fix my camera again. That's fantastic, man. Thank you. Now, I ask everybody again, with this said that we found an artist of some renown, apparently, we need to kind of get his name in there, don't we? Do we think we need his name in the listing? I think it's foolish not to get him in some capacity. Would we agree? Let me get the ad back up. There we go. Top print is 34. Okay. But that's still great work. H. Charles McBaron. I was right about the beginning with a C, and it looks like an MC, so that's cool, but I couldn't read anything else. Startled prairie dog for that music. There are fans of his art. All right, cool. So let us get back to the listing. Civil War. Should I put artist? I got his name again. H. Charles McBaron. I hope this fits. H. Charles. MC. BARRON. Again, look at this. To the letter. What do we think, everybody? Did I spell it correctly? I think we did. There you go. And that could be a huge selling point, right, Winnicrow? That's why it's worth the time. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody diving in here and taking a look at this stuff for me, because it just made it probably easier to sell this thing. Jackass Retro, what's going on, man? Welcome to the fun. We're doing some research on some print ads. Doesn't usually take this long to list them, but this one was worth taking a few minutes for sure. He's a solid artist with comps. Thank you, Travis. Awesome. That is good to know. We're going to do it. What do you think, everybody? We're going to go with this title. It sticks with my format. We got the Civil War in there, and we got this artist in there. Now, it doesn't mention the battle necessarily, but I would imagine that people are familiar with his work, familiar with American Oil, and the campaign they ran with the 4 prints would be inclined to take a look at something like this. Given that this is the actual, yeah, let me pull that up. It's a good point. You can't go too nuts. I mean, if it was an original piece of art, I would go berserk, but yeah, I kind of agree. And it's another one of those cases, you know, people might have similar things, and this doesn't just go for ads, obviously, it goes for everything out there. People put up listings and they do a very, you know, amateur job in some cases sometimes, right, to research, and they just put something up, they look for a couple of comps. Oh, it's $10, it's $10, and they match it. And if you dive a little bit deeper, and in Travis's case, you know, he's always going deep with the, and again, artwork, right, Travis? We always say that WorthPoint is great for artwork, and this is a piece of art. But anyway, the few minutes it took here, we found out a lot more about this ad. The battle is readable in the photo. Exactly. That's a great point too, right? So I don't really need to reiterate it necessarily, right? Pretty cool, pretty cool. I think we're going to let this one go then. Just make sure, again, dummy check, right? Like I said last time, for stupid mistakes that I might have made, make sure I didn't carry over any information that I don't need to carry over from the previous. But it's a 2-pager. Ooh, well, there's a stupid mistake. Price up. Or should we go for the gusto? What do you think? Let's mark this guy way up. We'll go 29. Feeling adventurous today. All right. Gonna let this one go. And Travis and Winter Crow get a 50-50 split of my 10% on that one. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right. Beautiful. Yeah, me neither, Travis. That's what I'm saying. Like, every time we get into this, you learn so much, right? Sweet. I put the wrong one up. A lot of those framed uniform prints. Yeah, I think Winter Crow was saying that she's familiar with. And I'm sorry if I didn't put up that comment. Let me go back. Winter Crow, right away when you said his name, McBaron did a series of all-soldier military for West Point. Excellent. Does he go way back, this guy, Winter Crow? Like, maybe in 62, he was already an 80-year-old man. I have no idea. He might have done, soldier or military prints for decades already at that point. I'm not sure. You have a bunch of what? You have his artwork? Really cool. All right, I'm going to erase off some stuff. You guys can keep chatting in the chat. And I'll pull up the next ad. But that one, I'm going to put a note in, and when and if that thing sells, especially if it's pretty soon, I will probably do a quick one of those short posts or whatever on YouTube. And give kudos to my buddies who helped me with that one in the post as well. All right, everybody. Let's see. Do we want to go to food or cause? What do we want to do? 1902. There you go. Winter Crow. All right. So, yeah. So he definitely probably did a lot of World War II. He was a child in World War I, but World War II, I'm sure he had a bunch of prints out there, right? Let me know what you guys want to see next. We have some car ads. We have a bunch of food ads. We're kind of in an automobile now. If you want to go to cars, or we can bounce around, whatever you want. Oldsmobile. I don't know if I have any Oldsmobile. Food. Yeah, I kind of like the food too. Winter Crow, do you have any actual artwork from him? Like, not just a print ad, but like an actual original piece? Like a lithograph or something? Yeah, absolutely, Travis. Oldsmobile is great. Heinz does well. What a great question. Heinz does really well too. There's so many, and the more we watch, the more you watch these shows. I'll keep doing them every week. It's a lot of fun. It's actually the second one inside of a week, right? Because I did Friday and Wednesday. Heinz does well. Let's pull up some food ads. I'll show you what I got on this specific magazine. Let's go. Keeping in mind, this is a November ad, so you would think you would have like Thanksgiving ads and Christmas ads. This one doesn't have a bunch for whatever reason. This one's kind of cool. Let's pull this in. Anytime your ad or what you're listing has a slogan that's really famous, or a character or a spokesman, or in this case, the legendary Mr. Peanut. Jolly Green Giant's a good one. You definitely want to put Mr. Peanut in the title. This is pretty cool. Looks like a really wild looking snack tray. That's kind of cool with a clock in the middle. Anytime is Planners time. And you can see it's not just peanuts. It looks like they have a whole series under here. But Mr. Peanut is the star of this one. Yeah, it's quite a pose for Mr. Peanut's putting on, huh? The leg bending, a monocle going. Man about town is that Mr. Peanut. Let's go in and start filling out the basics. Planters. I'm just going to put planters nuts. Newt is, of course, Norwegian for nuts. Anyway, you can see there's a section right here, advertising food and beverage, candy and nuts, planters nuts. Beautiful, beautiful. You have some unframed. Okay. We're going to go to food. All right, so right out of the gate, we have a category, which is always great for this specific company, Planters Nuts. We're in the food section. We'll go down and fill out some item specifics. Planters Nuts, multicolor ad. It's an original. It's 1962. I can't wait to show you guys. These are, for me, these are newer ads, believe it or not. I usually, a lot of mine are like mostly 40s and before. 20s, 30s, 40s are kind of I think the most ads I have are 30s and 40s. So to me, this is kind of a newer ad. Very modern looking. But it's still cool. Doesn't have to be 100 years old to be cool. All right, we're going to, before I forget, I'm just going to go back to my basic pricing for this one because it's not a 2-pager. It's nothing, incredibly interesting, so much like the Civil War was. The Come Hither Peanut. I'm going to catch up with what you guys are talking about here. Try price around. Oh yeah, I live in Pennsylvania, Winter Crow, so obviously there's if you go about an hour west of me, you're in the Gettysburg sort of area. Obviously they have a lot of reenactments going on over there, and there's a lot of Civil War nuts in this area. Good advice, good advice. Yeah, there are many of them. They're common. Doesn't mean they're not cool, though. Sometimes being common is a bad thing as far as, I think we've all talked about this. Uniqueness is what sells, sort of, or what drives prices up in anything. But there's still a big market for this. Coke is popular, but people still pay crazy money, and there's millions and millions and millions of Coke products out there and advertising for 100 years. Disney, dime a dozen, but they're popular. And Planters is very definitely collected. So is Campbell's Soup, which I think we talked about on Friday. I'm sure I'll have I think every magazine I've ever opened up, there's a Campbell's Soup ad in there. Incredibly popular. Okay, we got our specifics. We have our category. Let's go back in. We are definitely putting Mr. Peanut, his suave self, into the description, into the title, excuse me. If anybody wants to chime in with some ideas as far as, let me pull the picture back up for everybody. See if there's anything kind of unique. We could mention the types of nuts. It's like mixed nuts, cashews, pecans. It's kind of cool. Anytime is Planters time. I don't know if we want to make reference to the snack tray, or I don't know, what would you call that? Snack tray? This is interesting. If you look in the specifics, it says featured refinement, Mr. Peanut. Let me update that and see where that pops in. Here we go. Cool. So he's now his own specific. It's pretty cool. Oh, and by the way, back to Friday for a minute. If you guys remember, we discussed and verified that supposedly eBay does allow this Gallery Plus option for free when you list in collectibles. I listed how many? 10 or something, 15 of them on Friday, and fingers crossed, none of them would charge anything extra. My fear was that if I use this or I click that I think it's $1 for every single ad, which would be catastrophic for me. If at the end of the month I get a bill for $3,000 or something because of $1 on 3,000 ads. But apparently so far there hasn't been any issue. I haven't seen any pricing, any cost associated with it. I went back in and checked just to make sure I've done fake modifications, because at the bottom you can see if there's any fee that's going to be charged when you make your modifications. And every time it's been $0. Party tray, huh? All right, yeah, let's just go with party tray. This isn't one that we have to spend an hour on, I don't think. It's pretty cut and dry. Party tray, mixed nuts maybe, but then we have nuts twice. Ugh. Party tray with clock, unique. Anything else anybody could think of that's kind of cool? Again, this is like a slogan, which it's pretty cool too to see how slogans change over the years. But it looks like "Planners, the name for quality" was their slogan in '62. Hey, Sarah, how are you? You guys love that mid-century stuff, huh? Yeah, I got to get it. Maybe I'll just put, what was the acronym? Just MCM, right? MCM. Maybe mention that it's wood. I like that too, Sarah. Thank you. Hey, now, Travis, what are we talking about out there? Yep, MCM. Thanks, Sarah. That's what I put in. You love, hold on, let me catch up. I'm sorry, Travis. You wrote a bunch here. I just want to see what everybody's writing. Yeah, exactly. December's off, even in November usually, but December's awesome with the Christmas ads. We got to do it. We got to do it. Anytime you see Santa Claus or any Christmas ad, that would be a bolo. Kind of self-explanatory, but I never assume anything. Very good. True Magazine, men's stuff. Okay. Totally awesome. Cool from March 62. Very cool. You're right in the same realm. We're doing, Sarah, we're doing a November 62 Life magazine right now. That's right, Travis. It's a bolo. That's a very good point. Christmas all year. You're right, Sarah. Absolutely. A Santa Claus stitch. Oh, cool. Beautiful. Listed in one day, huh? Sold in one day, I should say. I'm sorry. That's awesome. Yeah, no doubt about it. Christmas, it goes for print ads, it goes for plushes, it goes for any artwork, it goes for figurines, it goes for anything. It's always Christmas on eBay. Believe it or not, absolutely. There's lots of Santa smoking. Santa, I don't think I've seen Santa drinking, but there was an ad I listed, I think it was from the 50s very recently, that had a guy, it was Tareyton, T-A-R, Tareyton cigarettes, I believe it was. It was a regular guy, but he had a Santa hat, like a Santa hat on and a Santa suit on, and he had a black eye, and he had a cigarette like this, and it said something to the effect that I'd fight for my Tareyton or something like that. The principles of, yeah, exactly. Yep. Exactly, Jackass Retro, excuse me. Yep. Yeah, I agree again. This could be transposed into a whole photographs or so many different other ones. Oh, please. I know. Sarah, I just have to ask, were you inspired by any of my videos to get into these print ads? I hope the answer is yes. Maybe you've been doing this for 20 years. I don't know. But I have no problem. It's funny, I got some comments on some of the ads from people, and I've heard this from many people that do YouTube. Why would you give away this? This is a bread and butter item. Blah, blah. You know what? Everybody sells different things. Everybody specializes in different things. There's millions of people that sell postcards. There's millions of people that sell print ads, probably. Maybe not millions, but there's lots of people that sell print ads. I'm not trying to, dominate the market or anything like that. I'm just presenting information, and then you decide if it's for you or not. Like I said, postcards, one of my favorite channels, Popeye's Postcards. The guy's giving out, he has like a 25 piece, I think it was, right, Travis? 25 or 26 part postcard 101 class that he did. He's not afraid of competition. So I'm not afraid of it either. I welcome it. I want more people getting involved with stuff like this. I think it's great to learn new things and find out different ways to sell. Completely inspired. Oh, see, that's awesome, Sarah. Thank you. I hope it goes gangbusters for you. And is that your first magazine? You said the True magazine? Antique buttons sell one at a time. Oh, cool. Tell us more about that. What kind of buttons? Like just decorative buttons? Are they like military buttons? Popeye, he's the man. Yeah, 52-part series. Well, these are kind of in conjunction. We've had this the second live show now that I've done. Really is kind of an expansion upon the whole print ad series. It's live action listing them, right? Which I think is kind of cool. But that's awesome, Sarah. Thank you very much. I'm glad that it inspired you. Ooh, 19. Yeah, Montgomery Ward's a great one. I think I have a short on this, Sarah, but just so you know, especially when you talk about these 1918 or like even turn of the century 1890s magazines, there are millions of these really tiny ads that are like literally an inch by an inch. They don't have so many of these big ads like you'll see later on in the decades where it costs a lot more money to get those full color graphics. But back in those days, you'd see a lot of those little miniature ads. You could cut those up too. There's tons of categories. It could be for what we call quack medicine ads. It could be for I've seen horse and buggy ads, all that kind of stuff. Even if they're tiny, don't overlook those. They can absolutely be cut up and sold as well. See, that's cool. See, I wish I could I want to get into postcards. I was inspired by Popeye series. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the guy is just not only is an encyclopedia about postcards, but I love that he's willing to share the knowledge and not afraid of it and not afraid that everybody's going to run out and, cut into his business. It's just not, first of all, I hate to say it, but you know how people are. Generally, the gateway drug is a great expression. I don't think everybody's going to take the time necessarily to do what I do or Popeye does with postcards or other people do with niches that they specialize in. Not everybody is going to be motivated like Sarah was to go out and say, I'm going to go buy 100 magazines and I'm going to spend 10 hours a day cutting them up. And I'm just throwing the idea out there. It's what I like to do. It's something I'm actually interested in. And I've developed a process that I've shared with people. Totally up to you. If you want to copy it, I don't care. It's not, I don't have a copyright on the process. If you want to create your own, that's great. If you don't want to do anything with it, that's fine too. You might dig postcards or you might just want to sell blouses or shoes. That's fine too. Everybody does what they want to do, but I have no fear of showing what I do. I think it, and just the fact that Sarah said she was motivated makes it all worth the while. Starcraft boat that I'm excited about. 2x4 inch. Okay, yeah. Yeah, cut those little ones up. They're kind of cool, especially the farther back you go, the more unique some of those ads can be. I'll tell you, they're hysterical. Travis is asking Jackass Retro what he would like, what's his favorite to sell. Let me get back into a peanut thing because I'm sure you all know this too, right? If you leave a draft out there for more than 10 minutes or something, you lose it. So let's get this thing. I don't think there's really much else to say. We've decided we're going to throw in the MCM and we're going to put wood, which I agree with. I think it's kind of cool. Let's get this one up and I'll move on to another food ad. Okay. Me too, Jackass Retro. I was so upset when he left. I understand why he left, and he was definitely very frustrated, but kudos to him for coming back. And with a vengeance, he does daily videos every morning of what's sold the previous day. His game, I mean, you could see it if you watch any of his videos. His game is volume because you could see there's not a whole lot of money necessarily. He really, that was one of my big takeaways. I was shocked at how little they really go for, the majority of them. He sells postcards for $5 with free shipping, but with that new what is it called, the postcard shipping, I forgot what it's called, that where you could basically pay like the price of a stamp or 50 cents. I forgot what it's called, but he uses that, so it's not a lot of money into the shipping, but he just does so much volume. If he's selling 50, 60, 70 a day or even 20 a day, he's making his money hand over fist. So it's a good business model for sure. Volume. That's what these print ads are. I haven't touched the surface of what I have. I have 1,000 magazines to go, probably more than that to go through still. And we've done the math, right? I can get this magazine. Let's see. I think we have like 25 or 30 ads from this one, which is pretty typical. Just do the math. Let's say an average of 25 ads. It's 25,000 listings I could do with just magazines, just magazine ads. And on every one of them, I'm making 1,000% easily profit. All right, we're going to stick with the food. Get rid of Mr. Peanut here. Okay, I can't even see what this is. It's so small. Let's pull it in. We'll look at it together. This is, oh, Nor. Speaking of Norway, that's kind of funny. I think it's Norwegian. Nor beef noodle soup. Look at that comforting, cozy looking crock of soup. Beef noodle soup with a little English village seaside. Is it no English village in the background? Yep, and an old time car. It's obviously way before the '60s. And you got Big Ben here. We have a lot of keywords, folks. Got Big Ben. You got I would probably use English cottage or something like that. Yeah, it's all volume for him. I mean, the guy has. Everybody, I'm sure, saw that hysterical video of his million postcard pickup with the. He even opened a new store that's just devoted to those ads, the airline postcard store, something like that. Hey, Joe, me too. I'm hungry. Just need a nice hunk of bread to dunk in that, don't we? Maybe throw a little cheese on top, but that looks pretty good. It looks very cozy. All right, so again, as tradition dictates, we will go in. I'm going to write Nor soup. I said earlier how popular Campbell's soup ads are. Ironically, when you put in Campbell's soup, it doesn't have its own category. It just defaults to soup. So I'm curious to say, I'm sure it'll be the same with Nor, and it is. So we're just going to go into soup category. Let me pull up some comments, everybody. Like I already say, Sarah's contributing. Copper pot thatched roof cottage. Bam! Winter Crow agreeing with the thatched cottage. A daily shipping show I've seen, and he always has very interesting thumbnails up there. And half the time, half the time when I see those thumbnails, because they're so removed from reselling, which is, I guess, a good angle to go with. Half the time I see it, I'm like, what the heck is this? And I don't even realize it's his video. So I have to always take a look and make sure it says the name underneath. But yeah, I've seen he does the shipping shows in the morning, which is very cool. Comfort food is going in for sure, Winter Crow. But I'm digging this thatched cottage, copper pot thatched roof cottage. I don't think we need to say beef noodle, right? Because it looks like there's several of them. They have a stew. Do we get Big Ben in there? Big Ben is kind of an iconic. Let me try this. I have to read on my other screen what she wrote. Sarah, I'm going to borrow your verbiage here, if that's okay. Thank you, Travis. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen many Nor soup ads in all these ads that I do. I haven't seen many. Oh, I'm just reading. You have 20,000 items. Wow, that's awesome, man. I'm at just about 3. I could easily get another 25 in ads just by themselves, though. It's a numbers game and it's a time game. It takes some time to get them all up, but I'm probably selling about 300 or 400 a month of 300 or 400 ads, I should say, a month. Cool. I will post that in a second, Jackass. Retro. England towns. Yeah, I was going to say English cottage or something is what I was going to write, but I want to put this copper pot thatched roof cottage. My God, that's something I would not have thought of. Copper pot thatched roof. How do I put English cottage? Or is that implied by using thatched? I'm not sure. I like comfort food too, though. Old fashioned, yeah, that's for sure. Because, excuse me. Let me pull the picture up again so you guys can see it closer. They have like a 20s or 30s car in the background on the photo. And this is a 62 ad. There you go. You can see it now. You see that back there? So it's definitely old fashioned, even for 62. They're looking back at coziness and old time English cottage life. I got English in there, I think, Travis. I put English footage or something. Everybody check out Jackass Retro live at 8:30 a.m. Oh, Pacific. Okay. 6 days a week. Groovy. That's all right. I wanted to post it for you. Yeah, I always have vintage in for these ads. I've never not had it in there. And I did get English into the title. If you take a look now, what do we think of this? We still have a couple of we have 6 characters to play with. Yeah, upstairs, downstairs, absolutely. Did I fill out this part? Oh, let's go down to our. We always want to take care of the basics first, the specifics. Our brand is not Campbell's. It is Knorr, Knorr. Original, multicolor, type of advertising, ad. Notifications, U.S. 1962. There we go. Just never want to forget to put those in, because then you'll get the dreaded message from eBay that says your item requires more item specifics. Medicated and whiskey? Oh, medicated with whiskey. You don't want to combine medication and whiskey. No, I got North Soup, finished print ad, copper pot, thatched roof, English cottage. I think that kind of covers the planet right there, don't you? It's a cool ad, though, isn't it? It's a cool picture. Very cool image. Like I said, I'm tempted to put Big Ben in there. Now, I'm sure everybody knows this, but you can always add a custom item specific. And you know what? For fun, we're going to put in Big Ben. Now that's out there as its own searchable. Is this the old? I don't know. That's the one I've been using forever. I haven't even looked at the new one. Has the video option, right, Travis? I know that. I haven't tried that page, if that's what it is. UK. There you go. Good call, my drunken friend. Yeah, this way we'll get, that's a cool idea. We have English and we have UK. I like it. Nostalgia always sells, says Win a Crow. She is correct. Okay. List. Let's see if we have any more food ads we can go through. Seems to be entertaining. I might actually copy and paste this copper pot thatch. I just like the wording. So thank you again, Sarah, for that suggestion. Your check is in the mail. Let's see what other food ads we might have. Well, as we said, this is a November 62 Life magazine. And what ad from November would be complete without good old pumpkin pie, ladies and gentlemen, made with carnation evaporated milk. And it has a recipe on it. Give you guys a second to catch up with the stream. There we go. Pretty basic, nothing jumping off the page. So let's just start out with carnation. Then we will go into our category right away. See, this is what I always fill out. I think we mentioned this last time. Any cheese ad, any of this, any milk obviously by itself, ice cream. In this case, it's what is it called? Carnation Instant or something like that. Evaporated milk all goes into just a category called dairy. So we're going to go food and beverage, dairy. We will go pumpkin pie. This one should be 30 seconds. Pie, if I can spell. Pumpkin pie with recipe. Well, that's going on the profile too, along with age toning and perfect for framing. That goes without saying. Let's fill out some specifics. I think this is going to be done in about 30 seconds. It's really not much to get into great detail about a picture of pumpkin pie, right? Around Thanksgiving time. Like anything else in life, repetition, right? When you do the same thing over and over and over and over, you get very good at it, and you get faster at it, and you get more efficient at it. This is just one of those cases where I do this day and night. I'm going very slowly on purpose so everybody could follow and watch. And if they have any questions or ideas, which obviously we've already had about 25 great ideas. November's a great month, Winter Crow, for ads. As we talked about, you'll get Christmas ads in November too. Women's Day, very nice. November 63, ominous. Very first foray into the whole magazine thing started with JFK. And the foolish notion that, oh, I got JFK on a magazine, it's going to sell like crazy. That was my initial thing, was the magazine. I wasn't into the ads yet. And, I should have realized at the time, but I didn't. Like a fool, I bought a whole stack of JFK magazines for much more than I should have paid. Like Look magazine, Life, what else? He was on the cover of a million different magazines, pre and post assassination. And, the reality now is that everybody had a JFK magazine. Everybody got the issue after he was assassinated. Everybody got the newspaper. So it's not rare or scarce at all. But anyway, that's what started the whole thing. I got JFK magazines, and I was watching another video. I don't remember who did it, or I would give him credit, but that was where I first got the idea about print ads, about taking out, forget JFK, forget the basics, but go in and start taking out ads. And it was a November issue, the infamous date of 11/22/63. And sure enough, within that magazine, there was 50 great Christmas ads and Thanksgiving ads. And, oh, Travis, sorry about that. All right. You have a good one, man. And hopefully I will see you on Friday. Everybody go. Yep. Okay. Jackass. Yeah, we will all check out. I've checked out his channel many times, but try to go in. Exactly. Me too. Absolutely. Agreed. Again, I'm going slowly on purpose because I'm doing a live stream while listing, but that's what I would do. I would, again, with just example of these print ads, I try to, if I have 20 food ads, I'll do them all in a row. I'll do all the car ads in a row. I'll do all the, like items. And I'm just literally changing basically the name of the product is all I'm changing, and a couple of elements in the description. That's cool. Yeah, but there's lots of them. There's just, he was so popular, and even before he was killed. But I thought that was going to be, a huge moneymaker for us. And it wound up being because I ripped them apart. If I just tried to sell the ad themselves, like Look magazine is the one that sticks out for some reason. And I thought, oh, first of all, Look magazine, not super popular, I don't think. It's not on par with Time or Life. And they were selling for $5 on eBay. So I can't go out there and put it up for $50 thinking, woohoo, I got a JFK. But I made my money because I started cutting out the ads and haven't looked back since with that. All right, well, let's get pumpkin pie up. I don't think, but I have a lot of room to play with. Let's see. Never grainy, smooth. Carnation's failure-proof pumpkin pie. That's kind of funny. If anybody has anything witty they want to add there, word-wise, I'd appreciate it. Especially Sarah and Winter Crow. They seem to be the most creative out there with the descriptive words. I'll wait just a moment to see if anybody has something cool. But I mean, if one picture, look at that, even has an orange background, that would be Thanksgiving in a photo. Thanksgiving dessert in a photo. Whipped cream, huh? Why not? Fills out a lot of spaces too. I like it. A dollop of whipped cream. Thank you, Joe. Yeah, whipped cream. See, you put whip. I think it is whipped cream. Should we put fork? Delicious pie. Dessert is a good one. All right, we'll put dessert. Here we go. We will let this one go. All right. Let's see if we have any more food ads. 1 second, please. When Crow, you just got a upgrade. If you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate it. A wrench, as they say. Let's see if we have any more food ads while we're on food. We do. And this is kind of cool, too. Kind of, I don't know about cool, but different. Got a big old rack of ham. Wrath. R-A-T-H. Black Hawk hams. I am not familiar with Wrath. I don't know if that's a geographical thing. Maybe it's popular in certain parts of the country. If anybody is familiar with Wrath, please let me know. But sticking with the whole Thanksgiving and got a wrench, Winnicrow. That's what I was trying to say. You. I bestow upon thee. Canned ham, says Sarah. Yes, absolutely. Lean and smoky. Big old gory photo of a close-up of a what looks like almost uncooked ham. But Wrath Black Hawk canned hams. How about that? Canned ham. Black Hawk. What will you use it for good? That's the question. Black Hawk ham smoked with hickory. What else you got, folks? I want to see I'm reading the, I know it's really small on YouTube, but I'm trying to see if there's any reference to Thanksgiving or anything in the ad itself. If it says anything for like your holiday table or something. It just says smoked hickory, blah, 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 pound for pound. Cheapest ham in the store. Unless you weigh it on flavor, then it's a lean, boneless beauty. It just says on your table. It doesn't say Thanksgiving, so I'm not going to put Thanksgiving at all. Honey and clove, yes. Sarah. Love it. Guys still make hams that way? Does anybody take the time to put the you carve it like diagonal, like little X's, I think, right? And then you put the clove in there. But this was canned, so I guess it came out of the can already ready to do it like that. David Letterman parting gift. That's funny. Man, Letterman. When Letterman first came on in New York, I went to several shows in the early 80s. It was my favorite show. I kind of lost interest when he went to CBS, but the late night with David Letterman was the greatest, I think. Well, anybody have anything else? We still have some hickory smoked. Am I going to make it, though? Oh, way to go, win a crow. That, folks. Here we go again. Perfect. No characters left. Wrath, canned ham, vintage print ad, Black Hawk. Got a lot of great words in there. I appreciate that. Oop, I forgot to even pick a category. Hold on. Let's go to food. You see, like I said earlier, sometimes when you put a color in the title, it's going to prompt you to change the color to black. We're not going to do that. We're going to say multicolor because I'm going with the color of the advertisement itself, not like one specific element within it. Wrath. Anybody, I was asking before, is anybody familiar with that brand, Wrath? Oh, so there you go, Sarah, on cue. Still selling, huh? I've just never seen it. It's like Hormel. You did earn your wrench, Winnicrow. Absolutely. Sweepstakes. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Everything sells. But yeah, they do. Absolutely. If there's a sweepstakes or there's tons of those for appliances, believe it or not. Westinghouse, Whirlpool, all kinds of giveaways. Yeah, they do. They sell very well. I will definitely bring that up in a future video or a future live stream when we do a live stream. I'll find some so we could look at them. I'll show you how I list them, but absolutely they do sell. Send in a quarter too. And you send in your little thing and you got a sweepstakes. Some of those have celebrity endorsements too. You know, win a car or something like that. And it's like, I think Jimmy Durante of all people is in one of them with like an old car ad. Jimmy says, cha cha cha. All right. Let's list this one. I'll see if I have any more food ads, and if I don't, we'll move on to the next. I'll give you guys a choice of which we want to list next. But I think I might have another one. Let me see. Erase off this. Sarah doing a great job with the wording. I appreciate that very much, Sarah. Food. Well, not food, but it's a beverage, and this is a good one. Pepsi-Cola, as they used to say. We'll throw right up there in the title. We'll take a look at the ad in some detail, but let's just get Pepsi up there. And I could have sworn Pepsi. You'll see there's a section, collectibles, advertising, soda, Pepsi, print advertisement. Let's get that. I'm going to change my store category from food to beverage. Again, just the way I have my store category set up. Not everybody's going to have the same thing. Brand is Pepsi. It's an original. It's a multicolor. It's a print ad. 62. The Joys of Jello. I think I've seen that. You have some. That's great. Get them up. Okay. So take care of these specifics. So we have our specifics already done. We have Pepsi-Cola up there. Let's take a look at the photo. Pepsi for those who think young. Now parties are more informal, more fun. They reflect a new way of life everyone's leading. It's called Thinking Young. This is the life for Pepsi. Light, bracing, clean-tasting Pepsi. Think young. Say Pepsi, please. So all the kids are drinking Pepsi, even though they look like they're 60 years old, but they're young. It's all because of the way people dressed. Jackass with the Jimmy Durante. Thank you very much. Sure. That's the official sound effect for Jimmy Durante. Very well done. I'm going to catch up in the chat. Let me see. Sarah saying, looks like it's not that 60s wrath. I'm sorry. What does that mean? You found another ad or something? Uh-oh. When a comment starts up with yikes, the mag I'm tearing up has Kenny article that women can do for peace. November 63 was probably printed and sold out. Right. Probably was. Yep. The ham stuff. Yeah, but I mean, you found a website you were saying, right? With that brand, Wrath. They think young. And they say that's half the battle, right? If you think young. All right, let's blow this one up. We definitely want to get that whole think young thing in there. I'm just trying to see if there's any, like, I don't know what these like party streamers or something, it looks like. Green and white party streamers. Look at the just a red, it almost looks like a Dr. Pepper, doesn't it? But it's Pepsi. They don't have the blue color yet. It's just red. And a good glass bottle. All right. Pepsi-Cola, think young, I'm going to put in. I might put in couple party or something like that. Sarah, let me know if you agree. Everyone a crow? Pearl necklace, says Joe. Like it. Something that kind of jumps off the page, right? That people might be looking for. Somebody explain what this is. Is this just like party streamers? What is this big old green and white thing? I like pearl necklace. Maybe it's a Christmas party, but green and white? Looks like a St. Patty's Day party, actually, but not November. Party, yeah, absolutely. I have Think Young because that's the slogan sort of. Couple at party, pearl necklace. Good enough? Can't be a corsage. I don't think he has any on him. Let's see. Like, if you look at the extreme bottom right, I don't know if that's just, that's a good question. I don't know if it's a corsage. It might be. Do you see that in the bottom right, everybody? Right here where my arrow is, there's like a little piece of green. Maybe he's wearing one too. It's an awfully big corsage if it is one. Oh, we don't really have much room. Excuse me 1 second. I'm going to turn off my fan. It's starting to get cold. Oh, maybe you guys don't hear that humming noise either. Looks like a streamer or garland. Okay. You think that's noteworthy, though, for the ad? I kind of like the pearl necklace thing a lot. Festive. Ooh. What do you think? Should I take out couple? It's definitely a party thing. The question, like a party streamer or something? Think young. Festive party pearl necklace? Or you think we should leave couple? Open to suggestions. Festive is a good descriptive adjective. Again, perhaps I'm overthinking for the benefit of showbiz here, but most of the stuff I'm writing in, I probably would have pretty much wrote the same thing, but you guys have come up with some really amazing little phrases and stuff that I would not have thought of. So I greatly appreciate that. We only have 4 characters left. So do we nix couple for festive? Let's get rid of at, like just make it festive party. Think young, festive party. Pearl necklace. How about blonde? When in doubt, I think if you throw blonde in there, it's usually a good thing. Yeah, I took out couple. And if we throw blonde in there, we get to our beautiful 0 characters left. What do you think, everybody? Think young, festive party, pearl necklace, blonde. I think that's good. We're going to go with that one. Move on to the next item. 6:30 already. Wow. Time goes very, very fast on these shows, I'll tell you. I appreciate you guys taking the time on a Wednesday evening. Is it Wednesday? Yes, it is. I had to do a check on that. All righty. Now, since I'm in beverages, let me see if we have any other beverages we could list in this specific group of ads that I pulled. Still have a bunch left. Do not have any other beverages, do I? All right, I think we're ready to switch gears as far as categories, and I'll give you guys again kind of a sampling of what I have. We have of course, the old standby with car ads. We have a cigarette ad or 2. We have an appliance ad. We have a pen ad. We have a couple of watch ads, which usually are pretty good. We have 2 dog food ads. If you remember, we spent a lot of time on a dog food ad on Friday, which was time well spent. Got into all kinds of detail about that, about trying to figure out what breed of dog you want to definitely indicate that in your title. Not at all possible. Yes, Winnicrow, thank you very much for saying that. Hit that like button, folks. I would greatly appreciate it if you're so inclined. So what would you guys like to see? We have the couple of dog food. We have cigarette. We have a couple of car ads. We have an appliance ad and some home, like a General Electric and a Maytag ad. We have a couple of watch ads. Actually, I'm going to show you guys one fairly quick, unique thing that you'll see at end of the year issues across the board. Hey, she earned it. In spades, she earned it. Winna Crow, always there, always supporting, always helpful. Check this out, everybody. I know in Life magazine, and I know in Time magazine, and I know in Sports Illustrated magazines, when you get to the end of the year, you're always going to find these. I'm just making sure it catches up in YouTube. There's a little bit of a lag. We will definitely go to the pen ad next, Sarah, okay? But I want to show everybody this. Within the usually in the middle of the magazine, inserted will be this. It's a subscription for next year's Life magazine. So anytime you get even in, I think as early as October, you'll see these sometimes. October, November, December, they'll keep trying to get people to subscribe. Obviously, there was no internet or anything like that, so you had to physically fill out a card and mail it to Life in Chicago. And you can see it was postage paid. And these are kind of cool. Like you could say, look, it was a promotion to give the gift a Christmas gift for 63 issues at the bargain price of $4.95 for a whole year worth of magazines. You see, and they have a kind of Christmas decoration that was popular at the time. They have some Life magazines there. These things about, I could grab one, but probably like 6 inches across and maybe 3 or 4 inches high. Like I said, they're basically in every single, yep, they sell, Sarah. I scanned it. You can see this is a little bit bent right here in the photo. I don't know if I did that. I don't think I did. It's a little off. It's not perfectly straight, but not a big deal. It was never used. It was never torn. You can see right here the perforation. But yes, these sell. I do 2 different things. Sometimes I sell them individually like this. Sometimes I'll lot them up. I'll grab, like, let's say I'm going through some magazines and I'm in the 1940s. I'll just keep grabbing them from any November, December issue that I have through the 40s, let's say. So I'll have 10 of them, right? 10 or 11, 40, 41, 10 ads, 10 of these subscriptions. I'll put them all together and I'll lot them up. And I'll just say Life Magazine 1940s subscription cards or something to that effect. And I get a little more money for it instead of trying to sell them individually. I knew Winna Crow. Yeah, they sell too. You got to really, rip these things apart, these magazines. They're just treasure troves. There's so much going on. Like you had alluded to earlier with the mail-in things for freebies, stuff like that. They sell any inserts like we started tonight's show with, that bourbon insert, which is like a 6-7 page. Some of the I have I think it's it's later. It's 1968, I believe. Ford put out like a similar thing. It's about a 6x6 inch pamphlet, like 15 pages, all about like the new 1968 Ford automobiles. And that sold for like $50. I sold that a while ago for car buffs. Tiny thing, weighs like 6 ounces, sold. It's kind of one of those things when you open a magazine, you know how stuff falls out even now, right? You open a magazine, sometimes these little cards will fall out. Don't let them fall, grab them. Hi, Lake Erie Reseller. Do I have a link to the clear sleeves? The reason I didn't put, if you're referring to the video I did about shipping, I don't have a link to them because when I went to check the link, they're no longer available. But I'd be happy. You could probably find something comparable on Amazon. If you look at the video, within the video, I did a little insert. It's like an image, and it actually gives you the exact name and dimensions for those clear plastic bags. So if you want to just do a search on Amazon or wherever else you want to, maybe even eBay, and check it out. But that's the only reason I don't have the link posted on the video, because when I went to do it, it said there's no longer available. Laplets. Ooh, is that the word? CJ? Laplets. But yeah, Lake Erie, if you want to just check that out, if you go back to my video and you'll see, I don't know what portion it is, I'm sorry, but when I'm talking about, it's probably towards the beginning of that video, you'll see I put a graphic up. Oh, you're very welcome. They're great. I mean, they're big enough they could fit. Life magazine are the largest physical magazines I have. The pages are the biggest of all the magazines. They're larger than like your standard 8.5 by 11, and they fit with room to spare in them. So, and you can fit. Oh, singlet. Okay, I was like, what's a laplet? That's a cool word. You can fit, I don't know, 10, 15 ads in those things too. They're very secure. They keep everything, no moisture. That's the most important thing. Water and paper don't go along well, especially with artwork on it. And they keep them in great shape. A singlet. Okay. That's too cool. Sniglet. All right. I think you guys are just making up words at this point. But anyway, this is what this item is. Kind of cool, right? I don't know if I'm going to list this individually, though, the more I think about it. I kind of like I was saying before, I'll grab, because I'm in the 60s now on these magazines. Maybe I'll just grab a bunch of 60s and throw them together in a lot. You'll get more money for that. Um, I haven't had great success selling them one-off wise, like for any, like I won't get the same price that I won't get $15 usually for one, but I might get, if I could put together the 10, I might get like 50 for the 10, which is a nice, easy sale. Again, they weigh nothing. You could put them all in a first class envelope and get them out and make $50. But I just wanted to show you guys. So I'm not going to list that. I'm going to put that into a pile for myself on my computer where I'm going to just accumulate all the 60s end of year sniplets, whatever they're called. But I just want to show everybody that, yes, they do sell. I had a request from Sarah to show a pen, right? Give me 1 second. I'm going to clean this one up. We talked about this on Friday. I'll mention it again. Some of these ads, when you scan them, because the scanning is so clean and so crisp, it can reveal things you don't want to necessarily highlight in an ad. And I'm not by any sense disguising. If there's a rip or a discoloration, I'll absolutely mention it because you don't want to get burnt, and get that dreaded INAD. However, if there's something that almost looks artificially too dark or something because the scanning is so intense, I brighten up the photo a little. I'm going to do that with this one picture before I submit it to you guys. Just give me 1 second. I might do, if anybody wants, I'll do a video on how I do that too. It's just a photo editing piece of software that I use, but it comes out really nice. And it can make a difference for presentation on the listing. I think I'm just going to do it to this one. Especially, I'm just going to reference this black and white advertisements. When I do the scanning on them, for some reason, the edging almost looks like burned, for lack of a better term. It gets like a little dark crease kind of look around the peripheral side of the ad, the four corners, and it doesn't look like that in person. But the scan, like I said, I think it's something about the intensity of the DPI I use, which is usually 400. It makes the black and white ads look like they have like a ring around them, basically like a yellow brownish ring, which, like I said, does not exist in real life. So I'm gonna, the way I get rid of that is when I do my editing, I will do a video on this if anybody cares. Anybody care to see a video on that? You do too? Yeah, to adjust the contrast. Exactly, Jackass. Right. I think that's what it is. The contrast is maybe a little too intense for the black and white ads, and it creates this artificial ring around the collar kind of thing, which I don't want. And the way I fix it is I make it, there's a filter where I could put black and white because it's a black and white ad. And when I put the filter on, it gets rid of that ring. So that's what I'm going to do right now, really fast. And then I will go back and I'll show everybody. I probably should have done a before and after for you. Sorry, but I'll show you the next black and white ad. It makes a big, big, big difference. Okay. Let me pull in the photo. Then I'll show everybody. It's the pen ad that you were looking for, Sarah. Yeah, 600 it happens. I've done 600, but that's almost too big for sometimes. It depends. Everything depends, but 400 I'm fine with 400. But you're right, that happens. All right, here's the ad, the pen ad. I'm gonna blow it up. And thankfully, and all I did to this ad from my original scan, just waiting for YouTube to catch up to me. All I did was do a filter on it to make it black and white. I made a black and white ad, black and white. But right around here, where I'm going through with my arrow, like Jackass Retro said, that must be something to do with the contrast setting or whatever within the scanning. It only happens on black and white. It creates this like yellowish brown ring, which is not on the paper. I don't want people to think it's discolored or anything. So I just do that quick filter. It's not deceptive in any way, shape, or form. It's actually more true to how the actual ad will look. So I don't know what to do sometimes. Sometimes I'm thinking I could exceed expectations by giving them a picture with the brown ring. And then when they get it, they're like, oh, it looks really clean. But I'd rather present it, for marketing purposes, obviously. You want to make it look as good as possible. So I'm not tampering with the photo in any way. I'm just enhancing it. Oh, win a crow. Hold on. Absolutely. I'll tell you, and again, it's funny with the timing, how they word things, but 20s or 30s, I have a whole bunch of Good Housekeeping from the 20s and 30s, and there are lots of those ads, lots of them. And it's so funny the way they word. They'll have like a woman like in a Victorian almost looking dress, like hanging clothes on a line. And they'll write something really dainty in there and something. It's just hysterical. But yeah, they sell like wildfire. People collect everything. That's what I've learned from doing this. People collect everything. For whatever reason, people collect things. Okay, well, let's get, this is a, I think it's the same brand we had last time, right? Parker, yep. Same one that we did on Friday, just a different ad. I'm going to put in Parker pen. I don't remember if that had its own category. What do we put that in? Winter Crow, you were here Friday. CJ, you were too, right? Do you remember what category we put our pen ad in? Change some. Put this into household items. Maybe I just did generic. Doesn't seem right. I don't remember. I might have to look at my other ad to see what category I put in. You're welcome, Winter Crow. Yeah, they absolutely sell. List them. Don't be ashamed to list them. There's no shame. And they do sell. And it's just, like I said, it's kind of funny how the wording changes through the years. For not just that, for a whole bunch of different items. People's approach to, marketing things change over time. The ultimate example is cigarettes, right? Which were the most common thing in the world. And now you can't even advertise with them. Writing. Yeah, we did, right? We did writing tools. That's right. Didn't we put it in exactly. We didn't have it in advertising, right? We put it in an actual pen. Let me see. You're right. Thank you, Winnicrow. Here, this is what we want to put in the other one. Collectibles, pens, writing instruments, fountain pens, Parker. And then we had that little debate whether it's a fountain pen or not. I don't think this is a fountain pen. I think it's a ballpoint. But they had a category where if we write Parker ballpoint, they had a ballpoint section. Yep, they do. First one. Bam. Thank you, Winnicrow. That's what we're putting this guy. You don't want to fall into a generic category because I just worry that it's going to get lost in the shuffle. Like they had a category which you can kind of go to as a default if you can't find anything else, which just says, it has a collectibles, advertisements, but then it says like advertisements 1960 to 1969. It just gives you the decade. That's, I think, the lowest level. And like I said, I think it'll just get lost in the shuffle if you throw it in there. So I try, if at all possible, to hone in on a category. And this is what we've decided from Friday, and I had no issues with it, so we're going to go with it. The only thing I fear sometimes, it happens with typewriter ads too, by the way, everybody. There's no typewriter ad section. You can go to a proper typewriter selling section. And I did that one time and got yelled at by somebody who thought it was deceptive because I put a advertisement in from like the 40s or something for a Royal typewriter, and it was clearly an advertisement, and the person got all fussy about it and said, I thought you were selling the typewriter. I don't know what would give them that indication when it's a piece of paper and a picture. Yeah, we'll take a look at the picture in detail, Sarah, in just a moment. Let me just get the silly specifics we always talk about first, all right? And we will go Brandis Parker, ballpoint pen. And this is the question, right? Steel, metal, or plastic. We will definitely get to that. We don't know what the ink color is. I think we wrestled with that too, didn't we? On Friday? Nice spell. Unknown. We don't know what color it is. Is it vintage? Absolutely. Well, US, it's not modified. Ballpoint pen. That's the extent of what I'm going to fill out because I don't know. Well, it's not personalized. We know that. We're in an actual pen. We're in a category where people are going to actually search for Parker pens. Exactly. It says print ad right in it. I thought it was pretty. Speaking of which, let me put that in. Why did I erase that? Finish print ad. And then Sarah brought up a good question about the tip there. And I'm just going to try to read again because I know it doesn't come out super clear on YouTube. Here we go. When you blow it up, it sure does. It's a T-ball tip. T-ball. I'm trying to see if anything says metal, plastic. It's cost $1.98, everybody. The whole refill this is called the Jotter, the Jotter pen. Yeah, that's what I put for ink color. NA I put. or unknown, or I'll put NA. This Jada pen shifts gears and makes a quarter turn every time you push the clicker button. This feature ensures long, even wear on the point and a more uniform line when you write. It comes with 4 different points. I'm still looking what Sarah's question was about that plastic tip. I guess this part, right, Sarah? Almost looks like steel, doesn't it? Jada metal or composite. Ooh. I'm seeing Jada everywhere. Jada, retro. I don't see anything about. It sounds like you're on the ball with this. So looking at that photo, can you make any assumptions? Whether it's metal or plastic, or what were the other choices? Let's go back to the description. It actually, metal, brass, or plastic came up as a material, as a frequently used. It looks like metal, huh? Should we go with it? We're not selling the pen, so I don't really care necessarily. If you were selling the pen, you definitely want to be, certain with the selections here. But I'm selling an advertisement for a pen. I think it looks like metal too. It looks like steel almost to me. But so should we put that? We'll put maybe I'll put Jada up here because that's really the name of the pen, right? You want to kind of highlight that for people that might be looking. I'll put metal tip. Metal, what's the word? Is it a tip? No, it's metal. Metal what? Oh, you sell pens. That's cool, Sarah. What is it? It's the metal what? What's the wording I'm looking for? I'm going to scroll up to your previous message and see if I could find it myself, but because you're the one that asked that question. Why can't I find this? What's the word I'm looking for, Sarah? What is that portion called that we're defining as metal? This metal shank? Or is it like a clip? Isn't it just a clip on for a... If you sell pens, I defer to your knowledge wholeheartedly. Waiting for words of wisdom here, Sarah. No pressure, as when a crow said. NA. Okay, we're going to change that to NA. Thank you for that. You see, it says features chrome trim, gold trim. I don't know what that means. Metal upper. Okay. So I'm thinking clip, but maybe that's too simplistic. It's not a clip. It's meant to, like the guy, there it is. It's to put in your suit pocket, Again, shouldn't be this complicated. Hey, Artie, Mike, I'm glad you made it. Thanks for joining us. We've been having a lot of fun listing print ads again tonight for almost 2 hours already. I can't believe how fast this goes. Hope everybody's enjoying it, and everybody's been amazing with the contributions, which I greatly appreciate. What do we think? Upper clip, upper tip, upper... We got shank out there as a potential descriptive word. I could always go to the Google, but since I'm doing all this with the different screens, maybe somebody else, nerd clip. Come on, Sarah, you're the pen girl. I got confidence. Let's go. What do we got? Clip, tip, shank. That's on your other PC. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you. Because if we get the word right, it could be a big difference. Again, the thing about like putting an advertisement in an actual category for a product, right, instead of an advertising category, is you got to figure that the people who are looking in this category know their pens and know their wording. So I don't want to sound like an idiot and using a word that has nothing to do with... It is clip, huh? That's what I had up there. Cool. Metal upper clip. True, but don't you want to like sound like you know what you're talking about when you're dabbling in their community? Like, I don't want to say, I don't know, something silly that makes no sense. Yeah, hi, rooting for relics. Welcome. That was, like, you might not have caught that earlier, but that was one of the only time I put these ads in categories like this that aren't an advertisement, there's 2 examples so far in my life. Pens, these pens, and typewriter ads. There's no place to put a typewriter ad. It doesn't come up as a, so I always indicate, you'll see again, it says vintage print ad in my title. My whole description says print ad, print ad, print ad. It gives measurements. It doesn't say in any way, shape, or form it's a pen. But I get your point totally. That's always been my fear, is that somebody's going to misconstrue and say, oh, I thought you were selling the pen. So the search terms, I'm just trying to put in, I have the name, I have the brand and the name of the pen, right? But then you see I have vintage print ad metal upper clip, which Sarah confirmed is the right terminology. Maybe I'll put a print advertisement on this one instead of shortcutting it. There you go. I'm going for it. I've listed pens before in these categories. I've never had a problem, and they sell. Pen ads, I should say, not pens. I'm sorry. Sarah lists pens. How do you do with pens, Sarah? Do you do well? Do you sell them? I've seen a lot of people do videos about pencils. Of all things, big bunches of pencils sell like wildfire, which I think is hysterical. Yeah, exactly. No, I get that. Rooting for the Rocks, absolutely. So I guess you did hear that part. Thanks. About the typewriter. I only had one person ever complain. They didn't really complain. They just they sent me a message. They didn't buy it and then get angry. They just sent me a message and said, I thought this was the actual typewriter. For $15, that's a good deal, huh? A 1943 typewriter for $15. Beer ones, huh? That's cool. All right, I'm going to list this one. And let's get out of pen world. We don't want to upset anyone. But thank you, Sarah. That was, learn some new terms. Again, every time I come on, I learn a bunch. Makes everybody's life better. All right, we'll get rid of the print ad, the pen. And I'm going to do the same. Well, let me not waste people's time. We'll stick with color ads for now, because I'm going to do the same process I just described with getting rid of that artificial yellow contrast thing on the scans. I have about 5 or 6 of them, which I'll have to go in and modify. But we'll do that on another. I'll do that, and I'll show everybody in a video how I do it instead of wasting time here on a live show. Should we go to a cigarette ad? We'll go to a cigarette ad. In this case, we have Pall Mall cigarettes with a lady laying in the grass. Interesting. You see that, everybody? Cigarette ads always sell. Cigarette ads are very popular. General rule. And you can see the category. Again, it doesn't have advertising cigarettes or advertising tobacciana, however you pronounce that. Rooting for the Relics, it works wonderfully. I've never had an issue. They don't bend at all. Those things are like, I should have, it's funny, when I made the video, I was going to do this, but I didn't. I was going to kind of bang on it so you could see just how durable they are. I have never had an issue. I've mailed thousands of ads. Not only do I not have an issue, but I always get almost all of my feedback on the ads says something to the effect of packaged with great care. Thank you so much. So they work great. And I do have a link for the specific mailers I use in that video. But yeah, they're perfect. There's no reason to, if you want to add, people mentioned putting like a cardboard backer and everything. That's fine. I do tons of records as well. I do a lot of other things than print ads. It's just kind of it's the thing I'm showing right now. But records, obviously, in 78, you package with great care. I have cardboard mailers. I have cardboard backing. I triple and quadruple cardboard them and use bubble wrap and everything under the sun. You don't need it for these. If you're into selling the print ads and you get the envelope that I'm suggesting, the rigid mailers, they'll work great for you. I've never had one problem. Thousands and thousands I've sold. They won't crease or bend. Unless your mailman's an idiot and decides to bend it, on purpose, which I can't. Again, I've never had that experience though. It's never been a problem for us. So let's get this one up. The Pall Mall. I'm going to switch this to cigarette tobacco. You can see it populates the brand, which is kind of cool. United States. Very little in the way of item specifics necessary for cigarette ads, which is kind of cool. It makes them go very fast. That's it. Not modified. The brand name, US. All right. So again, we could take a look at this picture and see if there's anything creative we want to speak to in the title. Smooth, satisfying, so downright smokable. Wherever particular people congregate. Pall Mall's natural mildness is so good to taste. Again, do I use the dreaded blonde? Blonde lady in grass? Well, sometimes, depending on the product, I'll use a slogan within the title. Like if their slogan is wherever particular people congregate, I might throw that in if I had the space. Dark-eyed lady. I just think it's cool that she's laying down on the lawn like that. Looks very modern for 63, doesn't it? That's a very modern looking. She just has a modern look. Her makeup, her hair, everything looks kind of cool. Flavor. You can see they have 3 different types at the bottom. It says regular, filter tip. Smoke traveled through fine tobacco, taste best. So you can light another. I'm just trying to read. Some of this stuff is so small. This section right here is really tiny. Let me see what it says. I'm just looking for clues within the image if there's anything I want to. Oh, you can light. Oh, you could light either end. That's kind of unique, isn't it? You could light both ends of this cigarette. That's kind of wild. Drugged out. Yeah, I was going to say that, Winter Crow, but I was trying to be discreet. Some people, I tell you. Yeah, she does look kind of zoned out, doesn't she? Country lawn. Outdoor. I don't know about country, but I guess so. Outdoors. Intense. I like rooting for Relic's dark-eyed lady. Isn't that a song? Don't. Oh, it's Blue-Eyed Lady. It says they're mild. You think I should mention the fact that you could smoke from either side? You could light them from either side? That's kind of natural setting. Light from either side. I'm not a smoker at all. I never smoked a day. I hate cigarettes with all that I am. So I've never smoked, so I don't really know smoking. But I think that's pretty unique that you could light from either side, right? Back to nature. Back to nature. You know what? That'll fill in a lot of space too. Back to nature. Sounds good to me, Winter Crow. I like it. All right. Cigarette ads, popular, very, very popular, mainly because you can't do them anymore, I don't think, right? I know you can't do TV commercials. I remember, I'm sure we all do, right? When they used to have every other ad was a cigarette commercial. Now you don't see them anymore. All right, we're going to list this one. Yeah, I like the light either end angle as well, but I used your back to nature instead. Believe it or not, I think that's the only cigarette ad I had pulled from this issue, which is rare. Usually you get a bunch of them. Ooh, I misspelled blonde. I'll fix that. Try to avoid typos in your listings, everybody. I think that's a universal rule. Let me fix this one really quick. I misspelled blonde. And thankfully, I still have a couple of characters to play with. Blonde. As we cross the 7 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. Another 2 hours in the bank. Okay. We'll do a couple more and then we will end tonight's festivities. And I'll definitely do another one. I'll probably do this every couple of days. It's a lot of fun. Great input from everybody. All right. For these last couple, let's see what we have. We have the old Stand By the Car ad. We have a bunch of those. We have, you know what I'm going to show everybody? I'm going to show everybody this one. It's a Kodak ad. Not only is it a Kodak ad, we've mentioned this is November 62, and we figured there could be some Christmas and or Thanksgiving ads, and there is. Let me just pull this one up really fast, I hope. Hold on. Yep. One second. Just save this. All right, this is a very cool ad. It almost has like a Norman Rockwell feel to it, but it's not a Norman Rockwell, and I think it's an actual photo. But you guys will help me determine whether or not that's true. Vertical partial page ads, do you list them singly or depends on the ad? It depends on what's, oh, it's too big. Hold on, my picture's too big. When it depends. When we were talking earlier about, was it Sarah that had a 1918 magazine or something where there's a ton of them in the back and they're really small, vertical or horizontal. They're usually like an inch, a square inch. I could absolutely I would rip like 5 pages of those and just cut them all up, and you could probably get like 50 ads or more than that. That's something like that, unless there was a specific item that's really unique that stands out, I would probably lot up, to be honest with you. But again, like anything else, you got to kind of look at each one and determine whether you think an ad would sell on its own. It's going to be driven by, what is the product? How popular is it? How rare is it? Does it not exist? Especially something that old. Does it not exist anymore? It really depends, but yeah, exactly. Horizontal half pages. Yeah, I sell half page ads and vertical half page ads. A lot of these Life magazines, which is still, what is it, 11 inches? So you're still going to get a 5.5 inch width by 14 inch. A lot of those sell very well. But again, I always indicate, just so everybody knows, it's not a full page. All these ads are full page unless stated otherwise. And I will definitely state otherwise, that it's 5.5 by 14 instead of 11 by 14. But as far as those little ones, I would just kind of use my best judgment, and like we've been doing now on 2 shows, just research. If you see something that kind of stands out in those little mini ads, the quack medicine stuff, definitely. Horse and buggy stuff. I keep saying those 2 things because where's the horse and buggy now? Gone. But in 1895, there was plenty of horse and buggy stuff for sale. Cattle sales. You see all kinds of stuff. Wacky concoctions to, medicinal brew and compound. Heals all ailments, stuff like that. The wording is hysterical on some of those. I guess. I mean, they like slightly better or look slightly better. I think I mentioned this Friday too. My favorite, if anybody ever cares, my favorite era of ads, my favorite decade is definitely the decades of 30s and 40s. I think they're the coolest ads. You have, a lot of World War II stuff, obviously, in the 40s. It's incredibly inspiring, a lot of them. Some of the things, the way the country pulled together and everything. Very cool. Every, manufacturers, auto manufacturers got heavily involved in the war effort, and they would produce products for, like, a Goodyear tire would produce rubber for planes and stuff. And the ads would speak to that. Like, and that kind of threw me sometimes. I would be getting ready to list a Goodyear tire ad, and then I'm like, wait a minute, they're showing jets, or not jets, but, fighter planes going over Germany or something. I kind of wanted to switch gears. So and a lot of those World War II ads are great because it would say something about buy war bonds, which is a absolute bolo and keyword you want to use in a title. Anytime you have an ad that says buy more war bonds or something, throw that in. If you don't throw it in the title, throw it in down here as an item, ad custom specific. Buy war bonds. Let me, that ad was too big. Sorry about that. Let me go back and I can change the size, make it a little bit smaller so it fits. I don't know exactly what the dimension requirement is for eBay, but every once in a while, certain images I have exceed that. I really don't know why, because it's all the paper is the same size in every one of them. I don't know why certain images come across as larger than others. But I do want to show everybody before we go this cool Kodak ad. So we'll just resize that down a little bit. Save it, and I'll pull it in so we could all take a look. And Winter Crow, I'm very interested to see what you think about this, because remember we were discussing an illustration versus a photo, how like some of the ads had pictures that looked had, you know, the picture in the ad looked like a photograph, but you were telling me it was actually illustrations that were made to look like photos. And I'm curious what you think about this one. Okay, let's pull this in. We should be good to go. It's for Kodak film. It's Thanksgiving. If you see what I mean about having that kind of Norman Rockwell look with the guy with the pipe and the old lady taking the turkey out of a very old looking oven, you can see it's probably supposed to be a retro ad. It's grandma cooking in her, you know, cast iron oven from the turn of the century or something. But take a look at that, everybody, and let me know what you think. Is that a photo or is that a illustration of some kind? I'm curious to see what you think, Winter Crow, specifically. How about I pull it in? There we go. You'll see it in a moment. Does everybody see that one now? Yeah, Kodak's going in there, Audie Mike, absolutely. Now, you would think since it's a Kodak film advertisement, it would be a picture for sure, right? A photograph. But if you look at it, doesn't it kind of have that almost like illustration on top of a photo? Oh, that's cool, Winter Crow. Yeah, photography magazines. I bet you, I mean, you're talking to the guy that rips apart magazines. Unless you can find comps for the magazine as a whole that will give you this kind of return, I would highly recommend look for certain brands of magazines that people are into. Brands of cameras. But take a look at that photo. What do you guys think? Is that a photo or is that like a touched up illustration? It's kind of hard for me to tell. It's a colorized photo, huh? Exactly. It's definitely very well staged. And like I said, you could tell, look at the, you know, the like 1890s stove they got there, cast iron stove. Got grandma with the turkey coming out of the oven. Your dad was a professional photographer. That's cool. So you think that's colorized, Sarah? You think it's a black and white that they colorized? Again, I wish we could zoom in a little more, guys, but if you could zoom in more, you could probably tell if it was like a painting or an illustration. I can't tell. Like even that camera to me is suspicious. It kind of looks like a drawing more than a photo. Yeah, you think that's what they were going for, a photo that looks like artwork. It doesn't have that, you know, that look to it. Old-fashioned Americana, Norman Rockwell style. That's the vibe I get from it. But as Audie Mike said, let's get those basics. We're going to put Kodak film. I don't think there's no reference to what camera this is. It's really just the film. And we're going to go into my category, my store category. I have cameras and film. Definitely going to put Thanksgiving. This is where it gets fun because there's a lot of really cool words we could probably use here. Let me fill out my specifics. We have multicolor. It might be colorized, but it's still multicolor. We have a print ad. 62. It's definitely meant to look a lot older than that, though, isn't it? It's a new field. Time period manufactured, 60 to 69. Modified, no. All right. There's so many things we could go. Pipe, grandma, little boy, turkey. Yes, it is. Kodachrome. Yeah, rooting for the Rex. That is good. Kodachrome. Gives us those nice bright colors. And it says Kodacolor right on there. So I am going to absolutely throw that in. Thank you for that. Systematic 110 film. Let's see if it speaks to the size of the film. But I definitely want to get, you know, more of the holiday elements in there. Right. Meant to make grandma look old fashioned. Exactly. Like back in my day, this is the stove we used to use. But I mean, how cozy is that? Little firewood going on the side. Sentimental, I like. Thanksgiving. How about old-fashioned Thanksgiving? Right, I gotta get grandma in there, right? I don't wanna have the little boy. Grandma boy. Have a look at that, everybody. Let me know what you think. Sentimental is good. Sarah wants to know what kind of film. Let me see if it tells us what kind of film. It's too small, Sarah, to really see. Just says great way to save a great day. Take snapshots on Kodacolor film, as Rootin' for Relics indicated. A straight billiard pipe. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you, it's really really interesting. I don't know if it's a fake picture or not, even blown up. It's incredibly well done. If it's a print, if it's a illustration, it's really done amazingly well. She's even got a pie on the top on the stove. I don't know if you guys can see that without blowing up. You got the wood in the corner and like a copper kettle kind of a thing in the bottom left. You got the little kid all dressed up. What looks like girls' shoes, but I think it's definitely a boy. And then you got grandma. And then there's people like if if Travis was still here, we'd be looking up those plates to see if they are any kind of famous pottery in the background. Somebody might say, "Oh my God, that's 1905 China." A brownie starmite. It's definitely a brownie, right? I think I saw that starmite. But see, this is the thing. The ad is for the film. You know what I mean? It's advertising the film itself. But you're right. They got a brownie in there. Or it's, look at the size of that flash too. So I'm not sure. And again, you run out of. Here's our old dilemma we always talk about. Maybe get rid of old fashioned. Just write Thanksgiving so I can get some of those other words in there. How to get Thanksgiving in there? Brownie star. Should I put brownie? I'm not going to be able to fit that. Maybe I'll just put brownie because I know it's a very popular brand of camera. Brownie. Pipe. Are those the standout items? You were looking at this. If you've looked at this picture, how do we not have turkey in there? Should I write turkey? Turkey. Turkey in oven. Turkey. Cast iron stove, right? Move the middle K from Kodacolor. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that, Rootin'. No wonder it has the spell check thing under it. Oh, it still does because it's not really. So it's just KODACOLOR, right? Thanksgiving, grandma, boy, turkey, pipe. Brownie won't fit, right? I was short by 1 digit. Everybody another opportunity to see the picture blown up. Anything else anybody could think of? Am I missing anything huge? I'd kind of like to put cast iron in there, but I definitely don't have enough space. It's funny. Look at this, guys. We put Turkey in there, and it's saying country of manufacture, Turkey. No. All right, we're going to let this one. Wood stove kindling is a good word, too. Maybe I'll just put wood stove. Wood stove. I like that. Yeah, we'll put wood stove. Turkey wood stove. Grandma. Let's see what happens. Thank you, guys. I think we're going to do one more. It's 7:20. We'll go to 7:30 or so. We'll do one more. And then I'll be back. We'll come in again one night and do this some more. I'll get a whole bunch of more ads for everybody to look at. Alrighty. We did Kodacolor. Let me pick a color ad because, as we discussed, we don't want to go through the whole hassle of getting rid of that ring right now. All right, we'll do this one. Cars and dogs. Can't go wrong with that combo, right? And it's a 2-page ad as well. So right out of the gate, what's our brand? Mercury. Two-page print ad. So, you see right here, collectibles, automobiles, American Mercury. I'm going to switch the print ad category of my store to automobiles. Oh, thank you so much, Sarah. Educational for me as well, without question. You guys have unbelievable wording. It's a print ad. It's a Mercury. It's multicolor. We don't know the model yet, but we might. You see how it's sometimes with the car ads, it'll prompt you to put a model in if it's known. We'll see when we look at the detail of the ad if they make reference to what model it is. But let me just fill in all the basic stuff, which we kind of have down at this point. Okay. Let's take a look. This is a cool one. I think we'd all agree that's a sheepdog down there. What do we think? Here's a perfect example. And again, something else we talked about on Friday that we didn't have an instance of, but here we go. It's a November 62 ad, but they're advertising a 63 Mercury Meteor. We definitely want to put in, you have a Meteor and a Monterey and a Comet. Comet is kind of nice looking. Look at that car, everybody. Almost looks like a precursor to the Mustang, doesn't it? A little bit style-wise. Well, we have a lot to play with and not a lot of space. You want to get the sheepdog in there. You want to get probably convertible in there. If everybody agrees. We got any car guys out there? Rooting for the Rocks. What do you know about cars? Something tells me a lot. My boy Travis knows cars. What does that mean in the Queen's English, Winnicrow? OESD. Not sure what that acronym is. Old English. Is that what I do? Just put that in? OESD? Exactly, rooting for the Rocks. That's what I was going to get at. We had an instance like this on Friday, and I was trying to explain to everybody, but the issue we did on Friday was like mid-year, so the car itself and the year of the magazine were one and the same. But here's a case where this is why we have two categories in the specifics. It says creation and origin. So it's created in 62, but it references a 63 vehicle. I'm going to put 63 there. And yeah, hardtop convertible, right? But Winnicrow, should I put that OESD in there? Does that cover it? Is that kind of a universally accepted shortcut for that Old English sheepdog? If it is, that would be awesome because I could fit all that. I could fit a lot more in if I use OESD. I might put 63. I like the Comet personally, best looking one. Artie Mike with the mid-century modern again, huh? The whole title's gonna be filled up with these little abbreviations. Sheepdog people will know. All right, I'll just put sheepdog. Comet, sheepdog. Trying to make the most of the space we have, right? So again, 62. The ad's from 62, but it's a 63 vehicle or vehicles in this ad. So I put 63 Comet sheepdog. Cherry red is good. My favorite flavor. The point is, there's a lot to go on with an ad like this. You got 3 different vehicles. You got the sheepdog. You got red, as Sarah just said. Exactly. Very hot cause. Station wagon's a little pedestrian up there. The Meteor with such a cool name, but on the Monterey is kind of strange looking. I guess we want to put convertible, maybe, if we have room. Probably not. On the money. Did I spell it wrong? It's convertible. That's why. Or Tibble. I put Able. Convertible. What do we think of that? I think that's pretty good considering all the elements we have to work with in this ad. 62 Mercury, 2-page vintage print ad. 63 Comet, Sheepdog, Cherry Red, convertible. Pretty good? Yeah, I know. And what is he doing? He's holding the hose to wash it. You see that? Winter Crow, what was the TV show with the sheepdog? Um, Ghost and Mrs. Muir. Did they have a sheepdog? For some reason, this sheepdog reminds me of an old comedy TV show. Yeah, Station Wagon is good too, Audie Mike. That's where I can use this space, and we talked about this a little earlier, but if anybody doesn't know, this add item specific category, we could throw in all those cool words that we can't fit in our title. I think Station Wagon is good. I'm sure there's people that search for Station Wagon. Please don't eat the daisies. There you go. Rooting for the relics. Yes, that's right. Very good. Please don't eat the daisies. What's some other ones we might want to put in here? Let me put the Old English Sheepdog. Was it OE? Old English. OE-ST? Well, the Shaggy DA, right? Tapa had a Saint Bernard, the Shaggy DA. But I was thinking of Don't Eat the Daisies. I used to watch all those shows. Ghost of Mrs. Muir, Don't Eat the Daisies. I love Family Affair, if anybody remembers that. That was like one of the first shows I remember watching. What's a ragtop, CJ? That's kind of cool. Is that my comment? That was a good one. What's a ragtop, CJ? I hate to sound so ignorant. I don't really know cause great at all. But if you think that warrants a specific, we'll throw it in there if it's agreed upon by our panel. You come on, ragtop. Oh, yes, I think. Oh, not D? No D for dog? Me too. I used to love Ghost Mrs. Muir. I'm trying to think of all those shows that presented to Daisies. Hazel. Remember Hazel? Okay, ragtop is a convertible. Cool. So I already have convertible in my title, right? Yeah, now I'll hit both of them. Thank you for that, CJ. So I'm going to remove, I'm just going to put OES, Winter Crow. Cloth roof. That's when vehicles with vehicles, huh? Some cool cars, man. Look at the even just, here's a perfect snapshot. Look at the different types of cars in one picture. You don't really see that. They're so cookie cutter nowadays, aren't they? Same company, same brand, all coming out. Comet will wash and wear and wear and wear. That's cool. Convertible is certainly fun to drive. Sheepdog is one word. Do I not have it as one word? Yeah, I do have it as one word, I think. Right? Going once. Oh, let's modify our pricing. 2 pages. So, and a sheepdog. When you got a sheepdog, it's another $5. Right out of the gate. There you go. Good job, Sarah. Let's post that for the folks. What did we just say, Sarah? When is it Christmas on eBay? Every day is Christmas on eBay. Always sell. And Halloween. I think a lot of people would agree with that. Halloween will always sell. You know, today we had a couple of Thanksgiving ad. Thanksgiving, maybe not as collectible as those other two, but something that sets apart your ad or sets apart your item a little bit, and throwing that element in with a holiday. Easter coming up, obviously, shortly. St. Patty's Day tomorrow. I had a ad I just put up recently, I think, for Easter Parade, the Judy Garland movie. with Fred Astaire. It was a nice big 2-page advertisement from whatever, I think was 47. Somebody could check me on that. 47, 48, something like that. When the movie came out, it was a big, nice double-page ad for the new upcoming feature film. Good to get that up, in March, right before Easter. All right, I think that is good for this one. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss anything. If anybody has any other cool little creative words we could throw in, I'll add one more specific, but otherwise I think we're good. We filled it up again, right to the brim perfectly. All right, going once. Model. Ooh, let's fill in a model. Should we fill in one of the models? CJ and Rooting for Relics. Which one of these models would you highlight? Is there one that's like more marketable than the other one, or more popular than the other one? Or like, I would think that the Monterey, I don't even remember ever existing. So I guess that was a fairly short-lived model. I know the Comet was around. Because just for, completing this section, I put Comet up here in the description. So it actually gives me some leeway. If I want to highlight 2 of them, I could put Comet in my title and then potentially put a different model down here, you see. But I'm curious what you guys think the second one should be. Meteor or Monterey? Calling on CJ. Calling on Rooting for the Relics. Artie Mike, you got an answer? Let me know. No offense, Winter Crow. You probably know your cause too, but you know everything else. Why not? Please don't eat the daisies. Sarah, what do you think? You got an opinion on that? Which one would you put in there? Our choice is Media or Monterey. And guys, if you would be kind enough to hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Before you go, Monterey, since it's so odd, right? Yeah, I never heard of it. And it's a weird looking car, actually. Very strange looking car. The way that, look at the, like the back, it almost goes inward, the window over here. It's kind of weird. All right, we'll go Monterey. Spelling that wrong? Monterey. I am spelling it wrong. That was a genuine comment. You do know everything. Should we list? I think we should list. Yeah, we went with Monterey. I think you're right. It's like rarer. I would imagine it's rare. I don't know for sure, but all right. And then what we're going to do is, I hope I didn't just accidentally screw that up. But when I'm done, I always save that. I erase off the photos and save as a draft so that when I go into my next magazine, I could just pick it up from where I left off and just populate the date of the new magazine. And that will conclude tonight's festivities. We went for about 2.5 hours again. Thank you so much to everyone who joined. Winter Crow, Sarah, CJ, everybody that was involved tonight. I really appreciate it. You gave me a lot of help, a lot of helpful words. Hopefully you guys got something from it as well. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to leave them for me, right on the YouTube on a comment section. And I will be back shortly. We have a live show coming up on Friday night. I think it's at 7 or 7:30, 7 o'clock. With Travis. We'll be going through some cool items again. We'll do some research on Worth Point. So Winter Crow, if you have anything you want to look up on Worth Point, please bring them out. And I will see everybody on Friday. Thanks again. Have a great night, everybody. And you take care.